Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So today, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 92 Invest 92L. So before we get started to talk about that, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to like the video. If you choose to subscribe, make sure you hit that post notification bell on the bottom. So as of right now, we're talking about Invest 92L. So yesterday's track, we had more of an X over here, as you guys can see. Right here, the X was more right here. So as you guys can see, it has moved a little bit towards the northeast since yesterday. So we could possibly see this thing making landfall around between Saturday all the way up to next Monday. So the next 5 days, we have 90% chance of forming in the next 5 days, and 48 hours, 90% chance. So into a tropical storm. So we're expected let me read this real fast. Rainfall totals. So we can expect, around it won't tell you exactly where the landfall is going to be. But moving on to the next thing, as you guys can see right here, that we are seeing our cloud top cover right here as of right now. As you guys can see, that it's still not looking good, but it's looking a lot better than what it was when it was over here. So it has strengthened a little bit. We are seeing a little bit more of a um cloud top covers. So as you guys see, it's looking not too bad right now. So looking pretty good right now. So here's our GFS runs. All right, so this is pretty much, if you're wondering what this is right here, this is pretty much where we start to see our runs right here. This is ran 50 times. The GFS is ran 50 times, and out 50 times it goes by one. So out 50 times, a couple right here. Some show that, some of them are bad data, so these are probably marked as bad data right here. These right here, these are probably like where we could see landfall. So really, landfall, I would say, landfall is anywhere possible from here all the way up to here. So we're not even talking about New Orleans all the way up to Texas to Louisiana. We could see landfall in Louisiana, but where do you see this black is? This is where they're planning the landfall is going to be. Can't go off that yet because we still got another few models to go off of. So as you guys can see, right before landfall, we're talking about 1006 as a landfall. As of right now, it's a pretty decent tropical storm right there. So here's our wavelengths. As you guys can see, the storm is right here at this time, and the main concern with the storm is that we're gonna have a lot of water. If I can actually see, we can zoom in a little bit. All right, so they won't let us zoom in, but as you guys can see, we erase that real fast. As you guys can see that let's fix that real fast. All right, guys. So as you guys can see right here, if you look carefully, we're talking about 10 to 12 feet of surge. This is measured in feet right here, as you guys want to see. So as we're seeing that the waves, our storm's going to be pushing water onto land, which is going to cause a little bit of surge. If you're below sea level, it will be a little bit of surge, not too bad of a surge, but just a tad bit. The only concern with is we're talking about our wavelength. The problem with this storm is going to be a very wide storm, which is going to cause more wind, affecting more towards the panhandles with waves. So even if you guys are not getting cloud cover, and during this time of day, you can still see some. Excuse me. Still see some waves. We're talking about even from the panhandle right here, where we start to see this bend towards Florida. We're talking about a good 4.5 all the way up to 6.5 feet from the storm. But then now we get to that New Orleans area, we're talking about a good 10 to 12 feet of waves that we're talking about. So that right there is something we do have to keep eye on, because all that water is going to be pushed on the land. If you guys like have bays in this area, which will force water into bays and cause a little overspill, nothing too big. So here's our This is windy right here. So we're going to play see what we're going to see. So this is around we start to see New Orleans. These are wind gusts right here. So New Orleans around, this is estimate. This is probably going to be around, I can't really see it right now. But we're talking about as the storm keeps on moving, we're going to see effects from the storm even before it starts to make landfall. So we actually exit this out and look right here. This is around Friday 18th. So we're talking about most of that wind's going to be on this side right here, and this is what I mean that water's going to be pushed up onto shore by waves. That's why we see so much. And you guys can see that we're seeing a rotation right here, which is pretty cool. But we're talking about New Orleans, 23 of gust, and this is around Friday 11 a.m. This is probably a day out before landfall we start to see. So this is around 2 p.m. Friday, and keep on going around 11 p.m. Wind gusts 32. Like I said, winds are not going to be too bad because we're going to see a lot of this heavy wind right here is going to probably be sitting on shore. But we're going to have winds coming off the Gulf of Mexico and blowing into New Orleans, which is going to push some water onto it. I think that's going to be the main concern, but we're not going to see too much of a surge. We might even see maybe a foot or two of surge. Not too much of a big problem with surge in this because we're talking about gusts of wind. We're even talking about Tallahassee. We're talking about gusts of 15, right? But most of that strong wind is going to eventually going into parts of Alabama, which we could see it making landfall in Louisiana. But as you guys can see, that we're going to see New Orleans gusts of 36. Even we might even see some gusts of 53 up there, so it wouldn't be hard to see that happening. As you guys could see, and then eventually around Saturday, this is going to be once it normally hits land, it's going to be a moving slow, and then eventually it's going to be calming down around 11 p.m. Or even we should say 8 p.m. It's just going to start calming down. Still a good winds of gust. But you guys can see that our center is right up here by our center pressure is right up here by Jackson, Mississippi. But I think Alabama's going to get the most wind of the storm, and New Orleans, you guys are going to get the first effects of it. But I think a lot of maybe some rain's going to be possible with this. I wouldn't put it past me. Let's see if we're seeing any rain or anything in this. So we zoom out, come down here. So yes, we are seeing some type of rain right to south of it. I think the center is right in here as right now. Here, let's turn on something more layers. Let's see. Let's see if I can get the hurricane tracks. Let's see. I forgot how to do that for a quick second. But this is where we are. So we're seeing some rain coming onto the Florida area, but really it's going to be a lot of rain. I wish I can go in the future radar with this to see, but I guess we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow night because this is when the Gulf of Mexico. This storm is going to be moving really fast in the next 24 hours. So we're talking about in the next 24 hours. We could start seeing rain going into New Orleans or even winds. And then the next probably 48 hours, we could see this thing affecting wind gusts of 50 in like Mobile or this area in Alabama or Montgomery, Alabama. You guys are going to see some wind off it too, I'm pretty sure. So we do report of winds. Like I said, we're not seeing too much. This is just a our shoreline, so I'm expecting some wind off the beach blowing onto the beach. I meant. So as you guys see, let's see if we can see any buoys out here. But anyways, let's look at this real fast. So our center pressure has not changed. Anything has not really strengthened that much. We're talking about maximum winds 25 5 kT, and then the gust of winds 35 kT. Our central pressure, our center pressure is 108 MB. So that's pretty good. And then we're talking about it might drop to 106. So two more. So it has a lot to do in the next 24 hours to strengthen a little bit more, but nothing. I think the main problem with the storm is going to be more of I want to say rain, because we look at our rain total. Let's check that out real fast. So if we look at our rain totals, go down here. We're talking about some good rain. So I think our rain is going to be the most problem with the storm, because you guys can see that we're going to be seeing some rain going into the Panhandle all the way to parts of Texas that we're talking about, edge of it. We're talking about a good two and then inches, and then we're talking about a good 7 inches, 5 inches, maybe some spots even getting 10 inches for New Orleans, all the way up into the edge of the Panhandle up here. So something we gotta keep an eye on, because I think rain's gonna be the most problem for this storm, and that's gonna be a lot of rain to pour down less than, let's see, we're talking about a good 5 to 10 inches in some spots. Yeah, we're talking about some good 5 to 7, maybe 10 inches in some spots, and then eventually make its way into the Carolinas, and eventually might be getting picked up by a front. If we type in, let's go to Tropical Tidbits real fast and just check on the model forecast. See what the GFS is saying. So GFS is towards the end of its run now. So yeah, like I said, let's see what GFS says, because I know GFS was saying quite a few times that it was going to be picked up by a front, but this one shows it just really dissipating. And yeah, I get picked up by another front. So let's see what the European is saying. The European might actually be updating right now. It updates at 12 o'clock, so yeah, it's fully done updating. But what's pretty unique about the European is, if you look, let's go to that one thing real fast. Let's go. One thing that's cool about the European is that it's saying same thing with the GFS landfall right in this area. So I think we got a good visual. We're going to see landfall between Alabama and Louisiana, and then eventually going in front of the Carolinas and like Virginia area, in front of this, and we're talking about it could reform back into 110, be more of a confined storm, and then eventually make its way off. But it would be a really fast moving storm. We're talking about, this is around the 22nd, 23rd. That's a big difference in 24 hours. You're talking about, that's a good 500-600 miles away from where it was in front of the Carolina Outer Banks area, Kitty Hawk area. Which this one right here, if this was to happen, what would happen was it would be more of a rainmaker than anything else. Yes, a few gust of winds, probably 20, 30 miles an hour of gust, and pretty much. Alright guys, so that's going to be a wrap of the video today. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and make sure to turn off post notifications. So until next time.